Welcome everybody to the show that you might not get because it just had to be there. I am your host, Paul Hackemesser, and I'm here with my co-host,
Kaden Koellen.
Yeah. And so, Kaden, today I have quite an interesting episode for you today.
Okay.
You're really going to expand upon your giving gifts. But
Right. Okay.
But before we do that, any small talk, anything that happened?
Ozzy Osbourne died today. It's not funny, but we have to re-record this part. And this is what I talked about the first time.
Yeah. So, no, it's not funny. It's very tragic. It was a very tragic loss, but it was just we had to record this again because my audio was messed up.
Seriously the first time, okay?
No, but it's a very sad
unfortunately,
thing.
we're recording this the day that Ozzy Osbourne has passed away. And it's a shame.
It is
certainly
a shame. We talked earlier how I thought he was a lot older than he actually was, and I thought he was already dead, and then I realized he was alive, and then he died like a week later. I've had him for only a week in my life. No, but I mean I don't follow like heavy metal, and that's like he's like the father of heavy metal. So
yeah,
I listen to it, but I don't really follow musicians in general.
I've never listened particularly to Ozzy Osbourne, but like I know of his music.
Yeah.
And I know he cooked. So
he cooked.
A bit of an understatement, but
yep.
He was talented. Yeah. Talented individual.
We don't
he partied hardied. And yeah, he lived for a long time. I'm sure he had a very eventful life, very joyous life. Did a lot of things in his time.
Surrounded by family and friends.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
All we could ask for. Oh, that's why I read about it. He was surrounded by family.
Okay, good.
No, he died in an alleyway.
I don't know for sure what his personal life was like, but that's
alrighty. Good. So, getting into it, re-explain the premise, even though Kaden already knows.
It's okay.
What we're going to do is I'm going to tell you, quote unquote, true stories, and we're gonna, these history, maybe some, story, like famous stories, stuff like that, we've been lied to all these years,
Mm-hmm.
And so we have real historian, Kaden Koellen.
Hi, Mom. Me. I made it.
There he is. He made it. Real life. He knows the true histories of everything that's ever happened. You could say books. It's a surprise he wasn't in there earlier. He's basically all-seeing. He's omnipotent, but I mean, just look at him. Or
I see.
Listeners, listen to him. Yeah.
Hear him. Hear ye.
Hear ye. Okay.
I am omnipotent.
Anyway.
Okay.
We're gonna start off with our first story.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna tell you the titles of these. We're just gonna roll with it. You'll figure it out as we go. On June 28th, 1914, Archduke Frank. Yes.
Can I interrupt you at any time to do this?
For this one, sure, since I've technically already read it. But I mean, so we've gotten to in our scratch recorder, we got into another story, and I read this one, but I wasn't able to hear Ken's response because I realized my audio was bad.
It's okay. So just go over it. I just didn't know if that was a rule or not, because you earlier were like,
I did say last time that you could jump in.
Interrupt me at any point and tell me what really happened. Or you were like,
I would prefer to get through the stories.
At some point. Anyways,
I prefer to get through the stories.
I'll let you read before I correct you.
It's history. It's a learning moment.
Yeah. I'll let you read your fake history, Paul.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. I forgot. Okay. On June 28th, 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, and his wife Sophie were assassinated in Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia. I don't know if I'm saying any of these right. There's some names in here that I'm just gonna badly pronounce, so I'm sorry.
Shout out Franz Ferdinand.
Hey, yo, shout out. Come on the podcast sometime.
Big ups.
The assassination was carried out by Gavrilo Princip, a 19-year-old Bosnian Serb nationalist, and a member of a secret group called the Black Hand, which sought to end Austro-Hungarian rule over Bosnia and unify South Slavic peoples. The couple was traveling in a motorcade when Princip shot them at close range after an earlier assassination attempt that same day had failed. A grenade was thrown but then missed. Franz Ferdinand and Sophie died shortly after. The assassination set off a chain reaction of diplomatic crises, alliances, and military mobilizations known as the July Crisis, ultimately leading to World War I. Austria-Hungary, with Germany's support, issued an ultimatum to Serbia. When Serbia's response failed to meet all demands, Austria-Hungary declared war, prompting Russia, Germany, France, and eventually Britain to become involved, thus igniting the global conflict. The event is widely regarded as the spark that ignited World War I.
Let me tell you what really happened, Paul. One day, this 19-year-old kid is walking down the street. And who other than Archduke Franz Ferdinand himself does he see driving down the road? It's Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
Wait, okay.
Yeah, I had to double down. It's that crazy, Paul. Now listen. He sees him down the street, and he's just walking. He's taking a walk, minding his business when he sees this guy, okay? He doesn't have any ulterior motives. He just sees Franz Ferdinand.
Mm-hmm.
Now, while he's walking, and while Archduke Franz Ferdinand is coming towards him, what does he see in the bush next to him, Paul? Can you take a guess? A live grenade, Paul.
Oh.
It was a live grenade he saw in the bush. He sees the clock's ticking. I don't know how he identifies it, but he knows. He knows the pole is pinned, or the pin is pulled.
The pole is pinned.
And yeah. He's got to do something about this grenade. So he picks it up, as any reasonable person would.
Of course.
And he's like, oh, I don't know what to do with this thing. I've never held a grenade before. So he throws it as far up into the air as he possibly can. This kid has had an arm on him his whole life. If there's one thing he knows what to do, Paul, it's throw. So he does what instincts tell him. He takes his drive and he throws it as hard as he possibly can. And he completely throws out his shoulder and he misthrows and it goes straight towards Archduke Franz Ferdinand's car. Now, he's in disbelief at what has just happened. This chain of events is truly unbelievable. You could only hear about this stuff in some crazy history book. So he runs down the street and he's yelling at Archduke Franz Ferdinand, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, there's a grenade in the road. And
this guy's also Mickey. There's a grenade in the road.
There's a grenade in the road. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, he was overwhelmed by the people's love for him that obviously existed in times like this in Hungary. And or was this in Hungary or just Austria in general? Or both?
They were heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, so they were gonna unite the countries. I'm pretty sure that's the history. I don't remember. They were in Austria. He's in the capital of Bosnia.
Oh, okay.
As you know already, of course.
Yes, I knew
You're testing me. Yeah, I know. I get it.
I
I'm
was
honored.
just curious if you knew.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he accidentally threw a grenade right into Archduke Franz Ferdinand's car. And they died.
But the history books say that the grenade missed and that he was shot. No. He just died. He died from the grenade.
He died right then and there.
Okay.
I know for a fact, Paul.
You're right. Oh, ever omnipotent historian Kaden Koellen.
Oh, thank you.
No.
Okay. Only the visual. The video.
I'm sure the audio listeners will get what happened to. Oh, whatever, man. Okay.
But they'll get the visual experience. Totally different. Anyways, he died right then and there to that grenade. It's a shame.
Damn.
But that's how it went.
That was the spark that started World War One.
Yep.
Damn. All right, moving right along. We got some gaming stories.
Okay.
You're gonna tell us the truth about these gaming things.
I can do that. I know the truth.
In the early 1990s, the video game industry was dominated by an intense rivalry that would come to be known as the Console Wars. A battle between two gaming giants, Nintendo and Sega. It was a clash of hardware, marketing, culture, and identity that defined a generation and reshaped the entertainment industry. At the time, Nintendo was the reigning champion. With the success of Nintendo's entertainment system, the NES, and its follow-up, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the SNES, the company held a near monopoly on home gaming. Its characters like Mario, Link, and Donkey Kong were household names. Nintendo emphasized family-friendly content, strict quality control, and a tight grip over third-party developers. Then came Sega, armed with a bolder, edgier vision. In 1988, Sega launched the Genesis, also known as the Mega Drive, a 16-bit console that boosted superior speed and graphics. But it wasn't just hardware. Sega's strategy was aggressive. With the arrival of Sonic the Hedgehog in 1991, Sega had its own mascot, fast, cool, and rebellious, a direct contrast to Nintendo's wholesome image. Sega's infamous marketing campaign declared war on its rival. Slogans like, "Genesis does what Nintendo don't," ignited a cultural divide. Children picked sides, commercials mocked the competition, game libraries were compared relentlessly, sports games and mature titles found a home on Genesis, while Nintendo stuck to tradition. In response, Nintendo doubled down on its classics and delivered critical hits like Super Mario World, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, and Donkey Kong Country. The two companies battled fiercely over game licenses, exclusives, and even the moral direction of gaming. Highlighted during the release of Mortal Kombat, where Sega allowed blood and violence while Nintendo censored it. By the mid-1990s, the war began to shift. Sony entered the scene with the PlayStation, capturing older audiences and pushing gaming into the 3D era. Sega's rushed launch of the Saturn and Nintendo's delayed but powerful Nintendo 64 marked a turning point. Though Sega eventually faded from the console market after the Dreamcast, the console wars began between Sega and Nintendo left a lasting legacy. It introduced competitive marketing to gaming, expanded the medium's audience, and cemented video games as a cultural force.
Yeah. Well, that's what they want you to believe, Paul.
That's why you're here. Tell me the truth. Tell us the truth.
Truth is, Paul, they have actually always been one company.
No.
Sega and Nintendo made false... What's the word I'm looking for? They wanted to create a fake non-monopoly, okay? They wanted the monopoly, but they couldn't get it with all this legislation and governing, it disgusted them. So what did they do? They took the best of both worlds, Paul. They reduced their mature content, the rebellious, almost angsty Sega, and they crushed it in sales with games like Mortal Kombat and Sonic and all those classics. But Nintendo, that was their way to access the family-friendly market. That was their way to stick true to their roots and force people into a belief that video games were a household item, right? In reality, Paul, they are one cohesive force. And not only are they one company trying to trick you, listener, that's you I'm talking to, they are also trying to force their agenda up onto us of making violence easily accessible and the norm for us, okay? This has been in video games for as long as we can remember. Video games are awful for you. They always tell you. They always tell you video games make serial killers. Have you ever played GTA? Ugh. Ugh. The gall. But anyways, Sega was kind of the stepping stone for Nintendo into introducing violence to the household. Movies, video games, all sorts of media, they actually just all come from Nintendo and Sega. All that violence, it's just them. It's just them.
All
and that's
those
the
violence,
truth, Paul.
all that violence in movies and sex on TV.
Where are those good old-fashioned family values, Paul?
Where are they? Where are they? God.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Not in Nintendo. Also, have you seen what they're charging recently? Ugh.
Oh no, yeah, no. You know what? I believe you. Right? They're all scummy practices.
That's right. They charge you more for the family-friendly shit. It's just like eating healthy. It's not.
Yeah.
It's definitely good for you, but it's gonna cost you.
It's good for you, not good for your wallet.
That's right. That's right.
In order to get green, you got to spend another green. It's so trash. It's
if
terrible.
There's one thing we've learned, it's that video games will turn you into a horrible monster, and healthy food is an awful choice. All right, on to the next, Paul. You're welcome, guys. Guys and girls.
Right. We're moving on.
I put girls into the guys category too, just for future episode context. If I refer to you as guys, I mean all of you, okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one and all, you know.
Mm-hmm. Guys.
You're right. I should change my links out intro to just welcome, guys. It encompasses
welcome,
all.
Guys. How's everyone doing? We learned about the video games. Let's move on, Paul. What else is there to be learned about? What else is there for me to tell the truth about?
We're gonna find out right now.
What other deceits have you found?
Following the conclusion of the Trojan War around the late 12th century BCE, Odysseus, king of the island of Ithaca, embarked on a protracted journey back to his homeland. His voyage lasted 10 years, marked by numerous challenges and encounters with various peoples and creatures. During his travels, Odysseus and his crew faced the Cyclops Polyphemus. I probably said that terrible. A one-eyed giant who captured and nearly killed them. Odysseus managed to escape by blinding the giant and cunningly hiding under sheep. Later, they encountered the sorceress Circe, who initially turned some men into swine, but eventually aided their journey after Odysseus resisted her magic. Odysseus also navigated past the deadly sirens, whose enchanting song lured sailors to their doom, and faced the dangers of Scylla and Charybdis, monstrous sea threats guarding a narrow strait. Throughout these trials, the favor and wrath of the gods, such as Athena and Poseidon, influence his fate, with Poseidon often obstructing his passage due to a personal grudge. Meanwhile, in Ithaca, Odysseus' wife, Penelope, maintained the kingdom and household, fending off numerous suitors who sought to claim Odysseus' prize or place and marry her, assuming him lost at sea. Their son, Telemachus, grew into manhood and sought news of his father's fate. After a decade of hardship, Odysseus returned in disguise, tested the loyalty of his servants and family, and ultimately reclaimed his throne by defeating the suitors and restoring order to Ithaca.
Yeah. Except none of that happened, Paul.
None of it?
Do you know
Not
why?
a single bit of... Why?
Odysseus, he never traversed the oceans. He never traversed them. No, he was not coming back to test the loyalty of his followers. He didn't come back and kill his suitors. Well, he came back and he dance battled them, but that's besides the point. Odysseus was gone for a long time.
Fashion, yeah, okay.
Yeah. In Odysseus 5, he has a lot of sex with Calypso, from my understanding. And he's some sort of a sexual prisoner, by my recollection.
Okay.
Well, he was actually in the stew, mixing it up with Calypso. He wanted this. He wanted this fate. And before he came home to reclaim his throne, he was out doing the dirty with all sorts of women, trying to work up to Calypso. And then he did Calypso. I mean, she did him in a way, but they did it. They did it together.
Did it
sexually.
Together. Sexually. Thank you for clarifying.
Yes. And yeah, he just needed a break from his bitch wife. No, I'm just kidding. No, he just wanted some puh. In reality, he was out getting that nasty, and he also did not like responsibility a lot. And his wife and son, that was a lot of responsibility. He'd rather go and face Poseidon and have beef.
Yeah.
Okay. Which Poseidon did hate him, but it was only because he was such a menace on the dance floor.
It's because he was such a menace on the dance floor. Oh.
Yeah, they never kept that one in the books. He was a really good dancer. It was kind of crazy.
His double stringed bow technique. It wasn't his actual bow. It was his dancing technique.
He'd throw parties with Apollo all the time. It was crazy.
Yeah, that'd be fucking awesome. Imagine throwing a party with the gods.
Yeah. Well, they don't party like us, man. I'll tell you what.
They don't party. They don't party like.
You don't even want to know. They got that different type of angel dust. Okay? They're not playing around.
I mean, don't they got... What's the one god? Dionysus, the fucking god of wine.
Yeah, god of
and
wine.
Parties.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's literally god of parties. God, he must be
is.
so... Man,
pretty chill.
I want to party like the gods. Alrighty. We're getting down to our final two. It's gonna be a relatively short episode. But you know what? It is what it is.
Freak it, we ball.
Freak it, we ball. On February 17th, 2009, the United States officially completed the transition from analog to digital television broadcasting, marking the end of an era that began in the early 20th century. For decades, television signals were transmitted using analog technology, which relied on continuous radio waves to carry video and audio. While groundbreaking at its inception, analog broadcasts were vulnerable to interference, static, and limited picture quality. The shift to digital television began in the 1990s, driven by advancements in technology and government mandates aimed at improving broadcast quality and spectrum efficiency. Digital signals allowed for sharper images, clearer sound, and the ability to broadcast multiple channels on a single frequency, known as multicasting. The transition also freed up valuable radio spectrum for other uses, including emergency communications and mobile broadband. The process involved a period of simulcasting, where broadcasters transmitted both analog and digital signals simultaneously to ease the transition. Consumers were encouraged to upgrade to digital TVs or use converter boxes to continue receiving over-the-air programming. The original deadline was postponed from February to June 12, 2009 to ensure a smoother changeover. Following the US, many countries around the world undertook similar transitions over the next decade. Germany completed its switch in 2008, Japan in 2011, and the United Kingdom in 2012. The global move from analog to digital television revolutionized the viewing experience, providing higher definition content, expanding programming options, and laying the groundwork for modern interactive television and streaming services.
Yeah, that maybe in a perfect world, Paul. But do you know what they're actually doing with
what are they?
What type of television did you call it again?
The
new one? It's analog and what?
Digital?
Yeah, that's right. Good job, Paul.
Thank you.
Digital, they did not do it for the sake of multicasting or, better quality of sound and video. They did it because digital, that's what it's called. Very good, Paul. Again.
Thank you.
Digital television watches you. It watches you.
Big digital.
Yep, big digital. Back at it again. You ever heard of birds, Paul?
No.
Digital television.
Birds.
Digital television. It's important. It's important.
Fucking birds.
To the government that we are spectated. So they got the birds, they got the television, they got our toasters. They've had them for a while now. And overall, they really just, they've got it everywhere. Like you said, 2012, United Kingdom, they were late. Okay, but they were onto something waiting that long, okay? They didn't want to be watched. But because we had modified digital so much and we had made so many advancements in our digital uploading and transmitting, that they couldn't help us make the switch. I talk shit on that multicasting, but come on. Multiple channels on one frequency. Come on. You can't beat that.
Big digital's got it all. Got it all.
Streaming platforms. They're pretty rad, if you ask me. But they're watching you. They know what you do behind closed doors. All the most secure places in the world, they still run analog, actually, because it's so secure. But it's so rare nowadays that you find that, So rare. Because it's only the most secure, the most elite use analog.
I gotta make some changes. I gotta make some calls that'll to some services that'll never be canceled.
You're welcome, Paul.
What's it called? There was this thing. It was like a shower thought that I saw someone had, that saying how like streaming services are changing into back into like regular like TV programs where you had like you had to buy different channels, and so now you have to buy different channels, but the channels are the streaming services.
Yeah.
And they all have different content and shit. It was like, oh. And then like the free ones would be like YouTube.
Yeah.
Like you can pay for better quality, but YouTube stays free. Or like Instagram, people say, or a lot of people.
I don't know,
or
man.
there was another guy that was saying that
this question or this history you bring to me, thinking that it's truthful. God.
Oh.
Have you ever seen iRobot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Digital.
Damn.
Not only that, but that movie is actually free on YouTube.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. It's right in front of you, sheeple.
They're trying to wake us up. They're trying to teach us, to make us realize.
When will you learn?
When will we learn? When will we learn?
Anyways, Paul, let me find some other stuff to disprove for you.
So, unfortunately, this is our last one.
Okay.
And this one might be kind of controversial depending on how you look. Well, not controversial. It shouldn't be controversial. Let me phrase it that way. Okay. On July 16th, 1969, NASA launched the Apollo 11 mission from Kennedy Space Center in Florida, marking humanity's first attempt to land astronauts on the moon. The spacecraft consisted of 3 parts: the command module, piloted by Michael Collins, the lunar module, carrying Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, and the service module, providing propulsion and support. After a 3-day journey through space, Apollo 11 entered lunar orbit on July 19th. The next day, Armstrong and Aldrin descended into the lunar module named Eagle toward the moon's surface. Oh, I read that completely wrong. Armstrong and Aldrin descended into the lunar module named Eagle toward the moon's surface. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first human to set foot on the moon, famously declaring, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Buzz Aldrin joined him shortly after, while Michael Collins remained in orbit aboard the command module. During their approximately 2.5 hours on the lunar surface, Armstrong and Aldrin collected rock and soil samples, deployed scientific instruments, and took photographs. The mission demonstrated the technological and exploratory capabilities of the United States during the space race era. On July 21st, the astronauts lifted off from the moon, rendezvoused with Collins in orbit, and began their journey toward Earth. Apollo 11 safely splashed down in the Pacific Ocean on July 24th, 1969, completing the first successful manned lunar landing and returning vital data that paved the way for future space exploration.
Well, Paul, I'm trying to think of how you thought this could have been controversial.
It's fake.
Because this did happen, Paul. They did go to the moon.
Did happen.
But they did not come back.
What? No.
Paul, when Neil Armstrong made it to the moon with, was it Buzz Aldrin?
Buzz Aldrin, yeah.
They were conducting their studies when all of a sudden a beam of light struck Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong.
No, not Neil.
Before they could react, they were gone.
Not my boy Buzz and Neil.
The shuttle that was on the moon's surface stayed. And soon after, 2 humans were deposited back on the shuttle with fake information about the moon. They were contained, and they made sure that none of what the moon really had to offer ever came back that day. including Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong's experience. To this day, they haven't shown themselves as their true colors. But we know the truth, Paul.
We know the
and
truth.
Somewhere out there, Paul, somewhere out there, Buzz and Neil, they could be alive. But as they said, Paul, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
I gotta.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in, Paul. It was all real and it was all fake.
No.
And none of us can know what's true.
Everyone was wrong. Everyone was right. Everyone was... No.
I'm sorry, Paul. I'm sorry you had to learn this way.
My boy Neil. My boy Buzz.
It's about time the truth came out. They're false idols. We should disgrace... No, I'm just...
Jesus. Okay.
Is that controversial enough for you, Paul?
No. I think we're good. You know what? I thank you for coming on to the podcast today.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We've learned a lot of things, a lot of new things that have been revealed to us as truth, as once we thought was what we once thought was truth was all a lie. We now know the real history thanks to famous omnipotent historian Kaden Koellen.
You're welcome. Always here to help. Always here to inform.
Where can they find you?
You can find me at Nameless on YouTube. It's at 07 Nameless. That is the letter O and the 7. NAMELESS at Twitch. And EL_KADEN. That's L Kaden on Instagram.
Thank you so much, famous omnipotent historian, Kaden Koellen.
Yep.
By the way, this whole episode sounding sort of like just one big conspiracy theory episode, and then you being like, you can find me at Nameless. It's kind of funny.
They can never know.
They can never know. Anyway, you can find me. You can find me under under Paul Hackemesser. That's PaulHackemesser, or under Lynksod. That's LYNKSOD. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember to tune in next time, because otherwise you might not know what's going on, because you just have to be there. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. He said the thing.
He said the thing.